Welcome back to our study of John's Gospel. I'm Ian, and this is the Selah Time to Pause podcast from Plexus Salvation Army, an online church in the UK. We have a curious event within today's reading, a seeming contradiction if we only look very superficially at the account. Ask yourself this question as you hear these words. Who found whom?
The next day, having decided to leave Bethany and go into Galilee, Jesus found Philip and invited him to follow him. Then Philip found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him, about whom Moses in the law wrote, as well as the prophets, Jesus, the son of Joseph, a man of Nazareth."
Now there's lots of finding and being found even in those few verses, so listen to them again. Between Jesus and Philip, who was the seeker and who was the one sought?
The next day, having decided to leave Bethany and go into Galilee, Jesus found Philip and invited him to follow him. Then Philip found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found him, about whom Moses in the law wrote, as well as the prophets, Jesus, the son of Joseph, a man of Nazareth."
Perhaps only a contradiction on a very minor matter, but a contradiction within the pages of Scripture on any matter, however trivial, would be a major problem for those who follow the Christian faith, for it would speak to the unreliability of all of God's revelation to us. When we look at these words a little more closely, however, we discover that there's no contradiction, but simply a matter of different viewpoints.
I will stop and breathe in your presence. Just breathe. Just breathe.
When I was very young and toddling around, my mum and dad used to have me wear reins in public. Nowadays that seems to be an unpopular name, too reminiscent of treating children like animals apparently, and they get called things that are less names and more just an awful word soup, such as
Anti-lost child wrist belt and strap, trademark.
or
Safety link leash harness for exploring little helpers, trademark.
or the slightly better
Child backpack safety harness with parent anti-losing strap attachment, trademark.
But basically, as a young boy, I wore these because without them, I would occasionally wander off and get lost. Sometimes for quite a long time, such as one occasion when I was 6 years old, when a fighter plane crashed into the sea off Scarborough Beach. I ran off to see what was happening. I ended up lost in the crowd. Wandering off for a young child can be dangerous, and it wasn't safe for me to continue doing so, and so my mum came up with a plan. She would allow me to wander my way for a while she secretly kept an eye on me in a supermarket, until I realised that I was alone. When I realised that I was lost and had to then go looking for her, the fright might make me more likely to not wander off in the future and to make sure that she was always within my view. So, one day she bought me a helium balloon on a long string and tied it to my wrist. This was a rare treat. We never had helium balloons growing up. They were always far too expensive. But Mum had a reason. With this balloon attached to my wrist floating high above my head, she'd be able to see where I was, even if I was in the next aisle. She would know that I was safe and I might get the fright that I needed to change my behaviour. Everything went according to plan. Not long after we were in the shop, I head off on my own little private explorations, perhaps searching for chocolate biscuits to drop surreptitiously into the trolley, and Mum watched the helium balloon bob away while she stayed close, just one aisle over, or perhaps at the back wall watching down the aisle. Eventually Mum decided that I must have known I was lost as the balloon started heading towards the front doors. She was probably hoping that I was heading to the customer service desk to turn myself in and get an announcement made over the tannoy, whilst probably also simultaneously dreading that I might be heading out onto the street to look for her there, so she picked up her pace and caught up to the balloon. And what she found horrified her, for the small child on the other end of that balloon string was not me, but a young girl. It would seem that the oh-so-angelic child that was the young Ian Emery had seen an upset little girl with her mother and had generously offered her my balloon to cheer her up. So rather than following me around, Mum had been following someone else. But Mum didn't have time to feel proud of her son, for now she realised that I was genuinely lost, and so she began to search for her son. Equally, by this time, the young son really had discovered that he was lost and alone and had started searching for his mum too. From the time Mum started looking, it didn't take long for us to be reunited, using the magic of our special family whistle, you know, the same one that probably every family has to attract each other's attention. At that point, we found each other. She found me, and I found her. Philip's account of the incident is that he found Christ, but John's record of it is that Christ found Philip, and they're both true. Philip, like almost every Jew at that time, had been actively looking for all of his life for the Messiah, keeping his eyes peeled, watching for the signs, waiting for the day when he would be revealed and Israel would be set free. And also, like all the other Jews of his time, he didn't know that the long-awaited Messiah would be Jesus. He was searching for someone, though he didn't know who that would be. Wanting a Messiah, Philip read the scriptures concerning him. He speaks about Moses and the prophets and of what they had written concerning the promised deliverer. So when Philip goes to tell Nathanael that he's found Jesus the Messiah, he's not saying that Jesus was lost, but that he's discovered the identity of the Messiah, and that it's Jesus. Yet Jesus' searching was of a different kind, as Jesus would later say himself in the home of Zacchaeus.
Salvation has come to this home today, for this man has shown himself to be a true son of Abraham, for the Son of Man came to seek and save those who are lost.
Charles Spurgeon, the great Baptist preacher of the 19th century, describes it this way.
Jesus finds Philip before Philip finds Jesus. Philip finds Jesus because Jesus has found Philip.
Jesus came to find those who are spiritually lost, the lost sheep of Israel wandering into danger without realizing it, the lost prodigal sons of Abraham away from their father's house. Jesus' entire purpose on earth was to seek people, to find them and bring them home. This mission to find is perhaps more obvious with Philip, as he was personally reached by Jesus himself. While Philip brought Nathanael to Jesus, and Andrew brought Peter to Jesus, and John the Baptist had pointed Andrew and John towards Jesus, yet no one brought Philip to Jesus. Instead, Jesus came right to him. Jesus actively sought out Philip, just as he actively sought us out and all the other disciples, even if they and we do not realize it.
The Savior sought and found me, far from the narrow way. He made my blinded eyes to see. Oh, what a wonderful day. He sought and found me. He sought and found me when I was wandering far away. He found me. What a wonderful day. He lifted sin's great burden. He saw my deep dismay, and graciously He pardoned me. Oh, what a wonderful day. He sought and found me. He sought and found me when I was wandering far away. He found me. What a wonderful day. My sins were red like crimson. He washed it all away. He filled my heart with melody. wonderful day.